meeting of the company. As a notice, along with the annual report in PDF format has already been circulated to all the members. I take notice convening the meeting and all the resolutions mentioned in the notice as well. I would like to touch upon the salient features of the company's performance during the year under review. You've read our annual report and we have given you a general view of how things are shaping up. And I would like to say that highlight a few points here and then take the question answers from you. 1 minute. Outlook and all. One minute, I'm just taking the page. Your company has certainly recovered from the depths it went through during COVID and due to the slowing down of the economy in the late 19th and 2018, 19, 20, etc. We have overall, we have linked our growth to a new strategy which requires lesser investment in the projects, at least for the time being, and it gives us better turnover and profitability. So, following that principle, we have been now developing projects inside the city, which are smaller in size and mostly in the joint development format. By that process, we have almost done in the last 1.5 years about 10 to 12 projects and are all constantly on the prowl for many, many more. And at the moment, as work in progress for acquisition of these kind of projects, we have about 6, 7 further opportunities. And these are likely to materialize before the end of this year. So there will be a good feed for the next year. For the next year, the city projects would amount to approximately 2 lakh square feet of development, of which about 80,000 square feet will accrue to our company, which if you take it at a turnover of about 20,000 rupees a square foot, so that's the kind of turnover that will come with very little investment and good margin. The margins in city property projects are between 25% to 30%. Without the investment, it makes it even more sweeter. Now, while we are concentrating on the city projects, we haven't left sight of the bigger ones. So we are actually currently in the process of negotiating for projects which are more than 3 lakh square feet per location. And we have got about 3 to 4 of those opportunities also in the city. And but when I say city, it's not downtown city, it's about within 7-8 kilometers from where we are. We are at the downtown point here. So if you look at that, around 5 to 6 lakh square feet per year is a distinct possibility of developments, which will also be sold around 17,000-18,000 rupees a square foot, giving us a turnover of about 2 lakh square feet per project, 200 crores per project, of approximately our own area of sale would be approximately 1,20,000 square feet. So that's the kind of numbers we are looking at. So as you might be interested, this year we are expected to complete as against 360,000 square feet of last year. We are expected to complete 460,000 square feet, and completed square feet for income recognition will be really close to 3 lakh square feet. So we are now on the upswing. Turnover also will go more closer to, would I say, 200 crores, Prakash? 200 crores. So we'll probably reach the reach the 200 crores mark of the turnover. So this would all give good sign that things are going to be on the upswing. The brand's strength is very strong, and we are realizing it when people come to us for joint development. They have no anxiety at all leaving their property with us, so that we will default or delay construction. Nothing of that sort they worry about. So while we take all the defensive steps not to overexpose ourselves, customers are very happy and landowners are very happy to deal with us. It shows that the strength of and confidence in the brand is very high amongst the populace in Chennai. This year and the year next 2 to 3 years will be characterized by our continued development of our Sriperumbudur project, where we have, as you know, there was a dispute and the dispute has been resolved, and we have made the payments to the landowners and we have taken over the property in its entirety, and we have 11.5 lakh square feet of approved plots on which any kind of development can take place, whether it's commercial, residential, villas, entertainment, whatever we want to do, we could do. But for the moment, we have decided that we will use 25% of this land and develop villas and apartments. Of course, apartments are more profitable than villas. But having said that, we have to wait and see whether the apartment projects will have a traction in the market. And if it does, I think that's going to be a turning point for the company, because the turnover then has a potential to go to 2,000 square feet also if the apartments do well. So I am personally involved in the development, management of the Sriperumbudur project at a macro and micro level, and hopefully by about January we will have a fit on whether the decisions that we have taken to go into the apartments schemes would be successful or not. Villas, of course, we have already done 100 villas, so adding another 25 villas, which we supposed to do and complete it by March the next year, is not a problem, because it's a proven product and people have already bought it. They're living there, and thanks to our services unit, excellent food and medical facilities and transport and upkeep and maintenance are all absolutely outstanding. So people love it for the reason that these things are available, and villas have attraction. Now the question is, using the same infrastructure, can we put through more people, and if you can develop an apartment where the government allows us 2 FSI for every square foot of land, we can build 2 square foot of constructed area. We have now come up with an outstanding design for 2-bedroom in 2 sizes for the seniors. And if it has a traction, I think sky is the limit with regard to what we can do there. And that's why I'm personally involved there. In order to reduce our investment in Sriperumbudur, we have also taken a decision in principle to sell about 1 lakh square feet of land at about 20 crores of rupees, so that we can reduce the debt to the extent of about 33%. So these lands have been identified, and we are now creating the infrastructure. Right now, road work and drainage work and other things are at play. And hopefully by about October, we'll start selling those lands. And if we can get about 20 crores out of that sale, we can pay back part of our loan and also reduce our outstanding debts and interest costs. Now, going forward, I think going forward, I think it's important for the company uh, to acquire lands which are in the range of 4 to 5 acres, maybe 3, 4 of them, and, within a geographical spread of 20 kilometers from our office, and there is good demand, and we know how to supply, how to design and supply to the local population, who are very happy to get an apartment under our brand. So we will be looking for that. So the strategy is like this: complete Sri Perumbudur, go on with that Sri Perumbudur development for the next 4 or 5 years, because of the large land holdings that we have got. Try and see whether you can get apartments to build and sell. That will be the most interesting thing from a company's point of view and also profit point of view. And then look for projects within the city which are which gives 250 crores turnover per project, and get these projects into hand under a joint development model so that our investment is limited. And then look for smaller city projects in downtown area where we can do about 10 to 12 projects per year, which are highly profitable, very quick turnover, very little risk, and the projects sell purely because of our name. That's all. So those are the 3 strategies. And it's also interesting for me to tell you that the Lumina project will be over by this calendar year, by this financial year. By 31st March, we would have completed it. And maybe by June or so, we would have received all the monies, settled accounts, and would have created an absolute landmark of GST Road in Chennai, which will have a spin-off effect as we go along. But right now, we would have completed our obligations, and it would release an investment of about 50 crores that is locked up there for our own money. And that's probably something that we will look forward to achieving quickly and surely by June next year. So this is the issues in general. And I will, some of you have asked questions. There will be a separate question and answer session which you can address. You can ask the questions and we will address it all at one go. And I'm also happy to tell you that we issued a bonus share on the basis of 1:2, and thereby it augmented the trader capital of the company. And then thereafter issued a preferential issue, and we mopped up about 55 crores from the market. And thereby the number of shareholders also increased. For your information, the total number of shareholders is now over 9,000. 9,500 from a figure of about 5,000 to 5,500. So literally increased it by 80%. So that's very good confidence that people have kept in us. And we also, I'm happy to tell you, we also issued shares to the employee senior management as an ESOP. And the scheme was offered to a select number of senior managers. And I think by next year, we will know how many of them opt to take. And I think most of them will take it because it's very good scheme that we have given. And that's the thing. So dividend distribution. Dividend
That is already there in the notice.
So the dividend notice we have already given you. We recommend you to approve the payment of dividend and declaration of payment of dividend. Now, statutory auditors, GM Kapadia and Company have expressed their opinion in the audit report 2020 for 23-24. There were no qualifications, observations, or adverse comments on the financial statements and matters which have any material bearing on the functioning of the company. Statutory auditor's report on standalone financial statement are available on page number 58 of the statutory auditor's report. On the consolidated statement are available on page 131 of the report, which we may go through. Now, I've spoken to you about listing in the National Stock Exchange. We are now listed both in the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange. And we have issued the bonus shares last year, last accounting year. And then we have done the preferential issue this accounting year, correct? Allotted this accounting year. And the pricing was done as per the SEBI norms at 45 rupees 30 paise for a face value of 2 rupees. So that augmented the reserves of the company and we made available further funds to the company for reducing the debt obligation and investing in new projects, which is what we have done. We have invested about on the 55 crores that we received, we are about invested in the new projects to the extent of 35 crores. About 15 crores of the debt we paid back and 5 crores we used it for working capital purposes. And our stock options have been announced and offered to select senior managers, and we are sure that they will exercise the option and benefit from them and continue to engage at the best level for the company and produce outstanding results. In any event, I must state now that our senior managers who have done extraordinarily long periods of service in this company have made significant contribution, and I'm sure that they will, in the years to come, they will do even better. Mr. Chandrasekhar was a VP Land Acquisition and Legal, was elevated to the post of a CEO during the year, and he's right now attending the meeting. And my other colleague, Mr. V.K. Ashok, was also elevated to the position of a director designate for looking after the new projects and innovation. And he is a very experienced man. And I also welcome him to this session. Now, I thank the members for their wholehearted and unconditional support in the management at all instances. I also place and record my sincere thanks to our clients, vendors for their contribution, support, and our banks and government authorities and employees at all levels for their wholehearted support. I thank my colleagues on the board, especially Mr. Vasudevan. Mr. Very quickly consolidated these questions, and still you can reserve the right to write to our company via the email and ask for information in writing. We'll give you a reply in writing, provided that information is not something that specifically the law says you cannot give. The law permits me to give you the information, I'll give it to you. Just ask me a question in writing. Yeah. See, broadly, from 2018 onwards, your company came into distress as a result of one legal case which we lost in arbitration. We won it in the first court, and then we lost it in the division bench. The division bench made us pass an order against us because the first judge in the High Court had incorrectly applied the arbitration law. So the judge incorrectly applies the arbitration law, and therefore we suffer. That's how it came to. And that matter is in Supreme Court. On a year-on-year basis, we used to get about 15 crores as rent, which is the basis on which we leveraged ourselves in 2017-18. And when we lost this case in the division bench and matter went to Supreme Court in 2019, we not only did not get 15 crores rent per year, we also had to pay back all the deposits to the tenants, and
Thank you.
And then repay the bank loan. We have done all of that. The particular property has got very small loans outstanding now. Or is it no loan outstanding? No loan outstanding. No loan. We have prepaid all the loans. The matter is in Supreme Court. The matter came up for hearing just 10 days ago. The court was pleased to admit our SLP, which in itself is a very big victory, if you ask me. That's what my lawyer says. Now the Supreme Court will hear our matter on merits, and the date has been fixed at week commencing 18th November, and it will be heard in, as we understand, by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to become S.K. Sanjeev Khanna, Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna. He will be most probably heard by him. He is the one who has seen considerable merit in our argument and has not dismissed the case, admitted the SLP, and probably he'll hear it. The single most important point on which the case is now being argued upon in front of Justice Sanjeev Khanna is the extraordinary delay by the arbitrator to pronounce his judgment. The arbitrator reserved the judgment for 44 months before he pronounced the judgment. And there are citations in the Supreme Court and elsewhere that if a judge fails to pass an order within 6 months or at the maximum 1 year, the case needs to be dismissed. So on that ground itself, we might win. But then there are other points which are meritorious, in the sense that we have completed the building and the landowner with whom we had contracted is in possession of the property, and he has been getting rent for over 14 years or so, and we have been denied rents for over 8 years now. So once this matter gets resolved, hopefully in our favor, your company will start getting rent if we want to rent the property, or we can sell the property and collect a huge amount of money that will become available as a result of appreciation to land and building values where this property is located. For those of you who are familiar with Chennai, the property is located on St. Mary's Road, Rajanamalapuram, and the corresponding values in and around that area is about 30,000 rupees per square foot. And our book value, which if it is 30,000 rupees per square foot, our commercial property must fetch about 30,000 rupees, or 25,000. If it is 25,000, we'll get 225 crores for the property. And our book value of the undepreciated book value is about 25 crores. So there will be a capital gain of 200 crores to the company, which is all of this is, of course, subject to our winning the case and we selling it at 200 rupees a square foot, to 20,000 rupees a square foot. I don't know what the future holds, but definitely we'll be better off than today. How much more better off is only a matter of guess. We win the case, we'll be better off. If we lose the case, there are other legal options available to us and we will pursue them, but we will not go a cropper in this transaction. That's all that I want to tell you. And now the company has been operating for the last 7 years without the income from this commercial property. We went to the lowest levels in 21-22 due to COVID. We have recovered out of COVID. We took extraordinary loan facilities given to us by the banking system. We have most of them. We have settled our Sri Perumbudur dispute, although we had to borrow money to pay them, but the property is free in our hand. And we are now in the process of announcing the first 25 villas that we are going to construct all in one go. In a matter of 4 months, we'll complete all the 25 villas. And already about 6 or 7 villas are sold, pre-sold, and we will sell the balance also and complete and bring the income of the 25 villas in the P&L account of 24-25 itself. We are also starting an apartment project there and hoping and praying God that the apartment project is successful. If it is, then there is a potential for huge development of apartment in that land which completely belongs to us. And if all goes well, we could have as much as 2,000 crores turnover there. But let's make a humble beginning. This year, November, we'll start the apartment construction, November, December. And hopefully by by March, April of 26, we'll complete it. And we will know the outcome of how successful this apartment complex is by about June of 25. And based on that outcome, we will take further steps in developing the other properties there. Sri Perumbudur land value itself is 25 to 30% above our book cost. So that is available to us without any doubt. And the Sri Perumbudur lands which are not plotted have a profit margin of more than 100%, so which we are already started to develop and sell as land. And the response has been overwhelming. So much so I can say that in the last 12 months, we have sold nearly 2 lakh square feet of land. And in the next 12 months, we'll probably be aiming for similar 2 lakhs to 2 lakhs 50,000 square feet. And that will give a lot of cash flow and profit to the company. As far as dividend declaration is concerned, yes, we have been giving dividend since 1986 till 2019, I think, 1918. So 1986 to 2018, without a break, we had been giving dividend. We could have given dividend even in those years when we had massive losses. The law does not say no, but we thought it's not prudent to give the shareholders some dividend while there is a huge stress in the company's cash flow and the company is also suffering losses. We are not now suffering losses. For the last 5 quarters, we are in profit. And we will be in profit in the September quarter, and we will be in profit by the end of this year also. By March 2025, when we declare the operations of the company closed for 24-25, certainly we'll be showing a much bigger profit than what we have got. Well, you would have earned it. And definitely dividends also may increase for the shareholders in future, subject to you shareholders have to decide what should be the dividend, what can the management do about it. That's the position of law. And you're right, the company needs to reduce its debts, which is what we are trying to do. We are selling a small portion of 5% of the total land holding in Sri Perumbudur. They're selling it for raising cash from the market so as to redeem the debts, which will probably give us about 20 crores. That we do. The sale of our plots in the rear side of the Sri Perumbudur is also cash accretive. That also will help us to repay the loans. Our market projects, Infinis, is now more or less complete. Occupancies have started, and by the time we complete the sale of all the remaining flats and pay the last bills for the construction, we would be left with something like 30 to 40 crores of surplus cash after paying the loan taken for Infinis. So with that surplus cash, we can either reinvest it in new projects or redeem the loans that are outstanding, which we have taken for the Sri Perumbudur project. Those options are available, which we will exercise. Our project at Guduvancheri, Lumina, will also complete by March, and that would also be cash accretive after paying off the Sundaram Home Finance loan. So that also will be applied to either pay the little bit of the remaining loan or for acquiring new projects. So hopefully between March to June next year will be cash flow wise comfortable, but that's not the goal. The goal is to reinvest surplus cash to new projects. You're right. We are, as I mentioned earlier, we are all the time on the prowl for joint venture opportunities. Though personally, I believe the joint venture is a dilution of our brand. So whatever the brand earns, we end up sharing with the landowners. But then that means that we don't have to invest that money. So we are willing to make that compromise for joint development. And the next 1 year or so, 2 years or so, I think the emphasis will be mostly on joint development. And we have at least 4 projects which are large in nature, where turnover would be over 250 crores in each of these projects. and they are all in various stages, advanced stages of negotiation and completion. And I'm quite sure at least 3 of these 4 would have been signed by March next year. That will then open the window for next 2 further years for work. And these are all expected to be extremely profitable, which I can say I said 200 crores, so 200 crore turnover, 225 crores turnover, will not make a gross profit on the project level less than 55 crores after meeting the marketing costs and interest both. Because marketing costs are all now charged off to P&L account, so they are not capitalized. Interest is also written off to the P&L account, so that's also not capitalized. So after writing it off, we'll still make a gross profit of minimum of 20 to 25%. So that would be something that should cheer the shareholders. You will be able to see this the next 12 months or so. You will see this. See, the overall environment of the company has changed for the positive. From an employee's perspective, our stock option scheme has made every employee feel that they have a huge slice of the cake in their mouth. So they're all putting their best, getting new projects for us, working on every opportunity that's coming our way. And many of you have asked for a hybrid meeting. I wish I can do that. Maybe we will examine that for the next year, whether a hybrid meeting is possible. Otherwise, we'll have an in-person meeting also. If you're all willing to take the trouble of coming and attending the meeting, please come. We will arrange it like we used to do it in the past. We'll arrange for it. I'm always very happy to meet our shareholders who stood by us through thick and thin. And personally, I'm not very happy with this online thing where there's no flesh and blood up to the meeting. It's just very technical. Certainly, these kind of meetings help shareholders get a better understanding of their directors and the management of the company. Certainly, we'll do that. Yes, Mr. Abhishek asked whether upcoming projects, whether they're joint venture or outright. See, primarily, right now, we are looking for joint venture. But we are not opposed to outright. We are looking at a big project for outright also. Whether that will come through or not, I don't know. And where property purchases are very tricky, they are nowadays one has to be even more cautious because there are lots of crooks in this business now. They forge documents, forge signature, manufactures, all sorts of things. So we need to be very careful. And we have in our CEO, Mr. Chandrasekhar, an excellent person who looks after all these aspects of technicalities with regard to land purchase. He's doing that. And we have a new project coming up by name the Summit in Sholing and Allur. That's an outright project actually. So for your information, we have a project by name Ananda in Lloyd's Road, which has only 2 or 3 flats for us. Is all fully sold. We have one more coming up in Basinagar, Bhagya, by Lancor Bhagya. We are just going to get the, I think, RERA application. There are some pre-sales there. We have not taken the money, but people have two flats have been booked for us, so that's that. So in all these things, we have firm inquiries. There is a project by name Pailuswamy Apartments in Alvarpet. It's a big project, over 200 crores turnover. That's in the final stages. And we have another project by name Ananya in Alvarpet. That's also a reasonably big project where our own turnover is going to be 65 crores. Then we have got 25 villas, 110 apartments in Sriperumbudur. We have a land sale project of 1 lakh square feet. Then we have a Temple Town land of 95,000 square feet. So if you add all this up, the turnover is going to be good and the profits are going to be good also. And some of you mentioned about reduction in cost. Sir, today, it's for us to run this company, we are all the time constantly looking at how to reduce the cost. I have as a probably the most poorly paid managing director in Chennai. So, but I don't really I don't have any grouse on that. I have no problem. I don't need any more money than what the company is giving me. And I have given a lot of my personal money to the company during these difficult times to tide over the thing, which has helped the company. And I've said I don't even want interest, and they said okay, fair enough. So whenever they feel that they can pay me interest, let them pay. Right now, the money is lying as an augmented capital with the company. There's a huge support that we got on the preferential issue. Our share got priced at about 45. That went up to 60 also, but then finally settled at about 45. Thank God. And so now with that we have been able to use that money to pay for part of the Sriperumbudur acquisition and the whole of the Summit acquisition, and a few of the other land payments also, small land payments also we made. And use the balance amount, sum of 15 crores, we paid loans, and balance about 5 crores, we used it for working capital. But cost reduction, yes, it's all the time we are working on it, and we have more or less shut down all our outlying offices. That itself reduces 25 to 30 lakhs of rupees per year on that. But salaries have to be paid well, sir. We have to pay good salaries to our employees, otherwise you'll get monkeys. So all our employees are tremendously committed, and there are some difficulties in certain areas, which I think the stock option scheme has plugged by bringing in the new energy has come in our employees, and I think the outcome of that we will see in the next few years. And any of the shareholders who want to meet us here, you're most welcome. You can just fix up. I will make myself available to meet anyone who comes here and says, I have some queries to ask, anything you want to ask, I'll give it to you. And so far as hybrid thing, I'm ready for. If it's a physical meeting also, I have no problem. We'll happily do that. And yes, we will try to increase the dividend so that I can get a little bit more myself. And let's see how the future holds for us. Anyone who wants to write a letter, write a mail to us, please do so. We'll reply to you.